Hello. So in this video, we're going to continue with the Pong tutorial, but we're going to add the other paddle. And so in this video, we're actually going to see really the benefit of setting up our code in some of the ways that we've done it. Because it might have seemed like, why didn't we do it in a different way, like kind of how we used to do things. So we're going to see how we can actually reuse these functions then for the other paddle. And then the same kind of ideas can apply in the future to the goals on both sides and the walls on the top and the bottom of how these functions can be reused in order to make our code a little bit more efficient and more readable. Right, so we have a right paddle here. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and then obviously change it to left paddle. And in these videos, in this introduction course, I like to spell things out very clearly. Obviously, you could change the name of these variables here if you would rather them be more abbreviated. You just have to be consistent every time you use them. So change all of these from right to left. And then think about what the X position here. So instead of being 400 removed from or 10 removed from the right side, it's just going to be 10 because I want it to be 10 removed from 0. Yeah, I'm going to start this right in the middle here, and make the height the same and the width the same. So that worked out. And then all I have to do is just call these functions that I was doing with paddle. I just have to call them again for the left paddle. Now, what that's going to do is make it so that both paddles move exactly the same way. So in a future video, we're going to implement true multiplayer where they could move separately from each other. At this moment, then I'm going to do this. So if I copy and paste where I call draw paddle, and instead of saying right paddle, like which paddle to draw, well, draw the left paddle. And then where I say move paddle, copy and paste. And then instead of calling move paddle with the right paddle as the argument or parameter on the other side, then I call it with the left paddle. And then for ball versus paddle, I can copy and paste this call. Instead of only doing it for the right paddle, then I can do it for the left paddle. So by doing that, when I get both paddles to show up, you can see how they both move based on the mouse. And it will be a little difficult probably for me to show how to bounce the ball this way if I don't have it going in that direction. But you can see how I very quickly got a second paddle in place. I'm just reusing these same functions because I defined them to be very generic, to just draw some paddle and to move some paddle and to check the collision with some paddle, whatever it is, because this is all the same. And so instead of having to make all these functions, all I have to do is just call them again, just with a different parameter, a different argument. All right, I want to verify for sure that the bouncing off of the other paddle is actually working. So I'm going to set the initial ball velocity. I'm actually going to set that to 0. So I really just want them to bounce side to side. All right, so I got it to bounce off of this one. You can see how they're both moving together. That's how we have our code at this point. All right, but I do get it to bounce then. And so by doing that very quickly, we're able to get both the paddles up and running. And so we'll see how then to get the walls and the goals in play.